Hi, Premali Guerreri, and I am thrilled to be with you today. As we're coming on to the close of the year, I just wanted to bring your attention a little bit to the past. Having our attention here in the moment, in the present, is most useful for us. Having some intention about where we want to align our life to go in the future is really useful. Our soul purpose is really helpful for helping us to align with what's right and true for us personally and to set those intentions as we come into the new year. Before you do that, I want to encourage you to take a look back, at the year that you're closing out. The use in that is, how far have you come? Just being really honest with yourself. If you rewind back a year ago, back to January, back to December, where were you then? In whatever it is that you're working on in your life, whether it's taking your purpose and expressing it more through your career, whether it's more through your love and your relationship, or just even finding out what that service is, that difference that you can make in the world. Where were you a year ago? And looking back, like, how far have you come? Have you made progress? Have you lived into your intentions? And first of all, I want you to celebrate any distance that you've come. Anything, any movement you've made into living your intention. Celebrate that, okay? We have to celebrate ourselves more often. We tend to look at what we don't have more than what we do have. It's human nature. So first, celebrate yourself. And then I want to invite you to notice, what's the gap that you have yet to close to where you were intending, to where you actually are now. Just notice if there's still a gap there. Now I have another question for you. Is your intention that you intended for yourself, does it maybe need to be realigned? Does it need to be reworked? Is it not really the intention that you want at this point in your life? Do you need to get up to speed with yourself in a new way or change that? So just notice, do you have a different intention for yourself for this year to come than you did from where you've come? And I really encourage you, if you haven't closed that gap on your original intention for yourself, what really your soul's calling you to, then stay with that path. There's a way to close that gap. Okay, so maybe you just haven't figured that out yet. Maybe you haven't had the support to figure it out. Maybe you haven't been totally clear. You don't have that clarity on where it is that you want to take your life. What is that direction? So I want to encourage you to take a moment and close your eyes and take a deep breath. Tune into your heart. You can put your hand on your heart and just tell yourself the truth. Just tell yourself the truth for a moment. How far have I come in this last year? And celebrate that. Just notice if you've moved any forward momentum at all. It's to be celebrated. And is there still a gap for me to close? Is there still a gap for me to close? Has my intention changed? Maybe I have a different intention. All right, take a deep breath. If you still need to close that gap, if you still have the same intention or similar, or maybe the intention is just even to get clear, then I want to invite you to take a deep breath. Once again, close your eyes. Tune into your heart. If I did tell myself the truth, if I did tell myself the honest God truth, the honest to spirit truth, what is that highest intention for me right now? What is it that my soul is calling me to live into more fully? What might that be? Just tune into what that is. Take a note of that. Whether it's something that's very crystal clear for you, or the intention is I just need to get clear. That can also be an intention too, absolutely. We'll talk about moving into really articulating our intentions for this next year in my next video to you. But for now, I want you to celebrate how far you've come, recognize the gap you still need to close. Is that still your true intention? And if it's not, what is your intention for yourself? And we'll also be, like I said, I'll also explore that for you in the next video we have together. And meanwhile, if you want help with closing that gap, with understanding what it is for you that you want to intend, or what it is that's been keeping you from actually closing that gap, then I'm going to open up my schedule in this next week or so before I really go on vacation for the end of the year, for just speaking to just a few of you to help you to close that gap before the year is out, or to have a strategy going into next year for actually closing that gap or getting the clarity that you need. So you can click below the video or on the email that you got this video in, and you can book a time with me to go ahead and do that, to close your gap. We'll call it a close your gap session. Okay? All right. It's been a pleasure to be with you here today, and celebrate. We don't celebrate enough. Celebrate how far you've come, whether it was 1 step or whether it was 20 steps. Okay? And encourage the others around you to also celebrate themselves. Namaste. Have a beautiful day.